Welcome back to a brand new video, ladies and gentlemen. Today's legal breaking reporting. We have an update from a federal judge that the Trump administration must must bring back Kilmar Arbrego Garcia, who is a legal, lawful, constitutional, rightful resident protected by a 2019 court order that was illegally, unlawfully, and unconstitutionally deported and removed by Trump administration officials and ICE to El Salvador. Let's break down the details of today's legal breaking reporting by BBC. The article is titled, Judge Rules U.S. Must Return Man Deported to El Salvador in Error. Kilmar Arbrego Garcia was deported last month along with hundreds of alleged gang members. And ladies and gentlemen, the article reads, a federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to return a Maryland man who was mistakenly deported to a prison in El Salvador. Kilmar Arbrego Garcia was expelled last month. Expelled, ladies and gentlemen, means that he was deported. Along with hundreds of alleged gang members must be returned to the U.S. by no later than Monday. U.S. District Judge Paula Xinis, ordered. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement said in a recent court filing that deporting Mr. Garcia was an administrative error. An immigration judge granted him legal protection from deportation in 2019. The White House has alleged Mr. Garcia was an MS-13 gang member, but his lawyers argue there is no evidence to prove that he is gang affiliated. Mr. Garcia is one of the 238 Venezuelans and 23 Salvadorians whom the Trump administration deported to El Salvador's notorious mega prison, the Center for the Confinement of Terrorism, CCOT, alleging they were gang members. But Mr. Garcia's lawyer, Simon Sandoval Mosenberg, says his client has never been charged with a crime in any country and rejected the gang accusations. This was the equivalent of a forcible expulsion. Mr. Sandoval Moschenberg said. ICE officials said Mr. Garcia's deportation was an administrative error and an oversight. But the Department of Homeland Security has still argued that the court does not have jurisdiction to order Mr. Garcia's return because he is in El Salvador's custody. Judge Xinis called Mr. Garcia's deportation an illegal act when issuing her order on Friday. She said he must be returned by Monday. The Trump administration has stood by its deportations and criticized judges as politically motivated. In a post on X, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller referred to Judge Xinis as a Marxist who now thinks she's president of El Salvador. Ladies and gentlemen, before we continue with today's video, let's take a look at what a Marxist actually is and the proper definition so that we know that if the Deputy White House Chief of Staff Stephen Miller is lying through his pathetic illegal teeth or not, like usual. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the definition of Marxist pulled up on screen. Let's take a look at it. Marxist is a socio-economic and political ideology that analyzes class relations and historical development through a materialist interpretation, emphasizing the struggle between the working class, proletariat, and capitalist class, with the ultimate goal of achieving a classless communist society. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave it up to you to decide and judge for you guys yourselves, in your guys' own opinions, whether Judge Xinis is doing exactly what the definition says. If you want my opinion, she isn't doing what the definition of Marxist means. So, which means that Stephen Miller, who's the Deputy White House Chief of Staff, is lying through his teeth. Continuing with the article, ladies and gentlemen. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said, "We suggest the judge contact President Nayib Bukele because we are unaware of the judge having jurisdiction or authority over the country of El Salvador." Okay, number one, Caroline, the judge is not saying that she has jurisdiction over the country of El Salvador. She is simply saying that she is obeying the law and is agreeing that Mr. Garcia, Kilmar Arbrego, was illegally deported because he had a legal, authoritative, binding court order from 2019 that states that you guys weren't allowed to deport him. But yet, you guys went ahead and defied that court order. So, I suggest you keep it quiet. Continuing with the article, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Garcia's family, including his wife, Jennifer Vasquez Sura, who's a U.S. citizen, have been calling for his release since his deportation in mid-March. Ms. Sura has told reporters that she has not spoken to her husband since he was taken by U.S. authorities. Mr. Garcia's lawyers said the claims by the Trump administration that his client could not be returned were outrageous. They're coming before this court and saying, "We've tried nothing and we're all out of options," Mr. Sandoval Moschenberg told Judge Xinis. Department of Justice Attorney Zerol Ruvini, who represented the government in court on Friday, acknowledged there were issues with Mr. Garcia's deportation. He said he was frustrated by the lack of answers he was able to provide. The government lawyer conceded that Mr. Garcia should not have been removed. According to CBS News, the BBC's US partner. Okay, there might be hope from these DOJ lawyers after all, ladies and gentlemen. There is no warrant for his arrest. There is no statement of probable cause, Judge Xinis said, adding what is the actual document that got this process started. Mr. Ruvini said he did not have that order. It is not on the record. The Justice Department lawyer noted that in his view, the government made a choice here to produce no evidence, adding that this absence of evidence speaks for itself. The case has drawn criticism from Democrats who have accused the Trump immigration authorities of flouting the process. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to agree, rightfully, legally, and constitutionally. They did flout this process, which is illegal of them to do. Continuing with the article. Maryland Governor Weesmore, who's a Democrat, wrote on X this week, "They've admitted to making an error, and I urge them to correct it." I agree with you, Governor Moore, that they did make an error, and I think that they should correct it. Now, will they correct it? Who knows? After all, it is the Trump administration who openly and willingly and unlawfully and unconstitutionally and illegally defies court orders. Numerous court orders, might I add, if that. Continuing with the last paragraph to the article. But Vice President J.D. Vance said this week that Democrats who criticized the Trump administration's deportations have gone off the deep end, and they've got to come back to reality. Okay, really, J.D. Vance? That's just a stupid comment. Right there. That's just a stupid, dumb, illegal, ignorant, unconstitutional, unlawful comment. And I'm rebuking that right now. You need to shut your mouth right now. J.D. Vance. I'm surprised your mouth hasn't gotten you in trouble. That is gonna do it, ladies and gentlemen, for today's legal breaking reporting. If you did enjoy this legal breaking reporting by BBC, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and enjoy. If you want to make sure that you never miss a brand new legal breaking reporting update, that I post once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, or even 6 times a day onto the channel. Please consider hitting that bell icon that is directly below, right next to the subscribe button on the right hand side below the screen here. It does not cost anything, and hit the all notifications options, that way you're notified of every single breaking legal analysis video. Another way you guys can stay up to date is by following me on my social medias that I will have linked down below on the video, or in the video description below. I am on Instagram, Snapchat, Threads, as well as TikTok. There you guys can be notified and instantly updated on when I've posted a brand new legal breaking analysis reporting video to the channel. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, please help me reach and achieve the goal of 150 plus subscribers. The reason why I'm saying 150 plus subscribers is because right after we reach and achieve the goal of 150 subscribers, we have more subscribers to reach and achieve right after we reach the goal and achieve it of 150 subscribers. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching and tuning into today's legal breaking reporting video. Until my next legal breaking reporting video, please stay positive, please stay safe, and know that justice will prevail on the correct side of the law, despite Donald Trump's and his illegal, unlawful, unconstitutional administration's illegal, unlawful, unconstitutional, and illegal executive orders and actions.